What's up, guys? This is the Fullstack bro coming in with another video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the 5 reasons why you should become a developer. Okay. Now, if you have a passion for technology and you always wanted to be a coder in some way, then obviously this is the route that you should go. There's so many different opportunities for people in tech. Okay. You could become a web developer. You could become a software engineer. You could become a front-end developer, just focusing on building up an application nice and pretty, or you could be full stack, which is, the back-end and front-end architecture. Now, you have a lot of opportunities to learn and grow. You don't necessarily need to go to college to become a developer. There are a lot of boot camps out there that you could sign up for today and get a certification for completing that boot camp and put that on your resume and actually apply to jobs. You don't necessarily need to go to school for it. Now, I'm not saying that school is a waste of time, but depending on the job that you're doing or the career that you want to pursue, you might want to think about it a little bit differently. In my opinion, I probably would have went to a boot camp instead of going to college, because you could learn so much today on just getting a course on Udemy, going to YouTube, looking up, videos on a particular topic, whether it's a coding language or like theory. You can do all that stuff on the internet for free. And having a portfolio helps, having a bunch of projects helps. But if you have the knowledge to where you could sit there in front of people, right, in front of an interview panel, and any question that they give you, you can answer that pretty thoroughly, you should be able to get a job opportunity. So it's the amount of time that you put into mastering the craft that you want to do. I have a list for you guys that I'm going to go through real quick, just based off of I became a developer. So let's get to it, guys. So the first thing is creativity. When you're a developer, you are super creative in terms of how you could just write code and build something that is magically on the screen. I've never seen this done anywhere else. It could create different websites, applications. You can make it do whatever you want. The possibilities are endless. You start off with like a blank canvas and build it to what you want. You're not tied down to this like one way of doing things. You could think outside the box and make things more interactive and something that people will gravitate towards. Like if you think about Instagram, TikTok, right? These are apps that were built to solve a problem. People are connecting with each other. And Instagram and TikTok has done that. Short form videos, posts, right? Carousels of posts, like these are the different things that they were able to expand on to make those platforms very marketable. And you could do the same thing too as well. You could build an app on your own and dedicate time and resources to get it out there to the public and see what they think about it, right? And if it solves a problem, then that's more money coming into your pocket. And then as you continue to scale and grow, obviously you're going to hire more people to dedicate a lot of the issues, right? Or the pain points of what the app is currently versus what it could be in the future. Second thing is endless amounts of learning. You could just stick with one language and learn that to the end of time and master that, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that you won't want to expand onto different languages, especially if other people are talking about it and how it helps with different pain points that you have with learning one particular language that you spend so much time on. You would evaluate that language just to see if it's a good fit and if you can use both of them hand in hand. Or if it's a complete rip and replace, that's another thing too. But you could learn as many languages as you want. And it's good to know multiple languages because you would have like, just like a full tech stack of what you want to use to get something done, like a project, an application, doesn't matter, a website. You would have so many different ways to tackle a problem as opposed to just being stuck in a box, right? You're stuck in a box with just like only learning one language. To become full stack, you have to learn multiple languages. And you just stick with the languages that you are an expert at. And that's going to take you very, very far as opposed to learning bits and pieces of other languages. And if there is a major reason why you should pivot, then you just have to go with that and learn as much as you can. But you're not, like I said, you're not tied down. You can learn as much as you want, when you want, and build as much as you want. And That doesn't necessarily mean that the first app that you wanted to build or you had an idea of building is going to succeed, right? You're going to have to take failures, and this is okay. Once you take those failures, you can learn from those past mistakes and not apply it to the next thing, right? And then you could pivot to another project until something sticks. You're going to fail endless amounts of times. And through that process of failure, you're going to be learning a lot, okay? You're going to be learning a lot in terms of how you should structure your code, how to manage debugging code in certain areas, especially if it's a code base that you're not super familiar with. You would have that skill under your belt now because you've been exposed to it so many times and you work with people that already done the work, right? And they're guiding you into this way of learning to where you become better at picking things out. Once you have that understanding, the possibilities for learning will never stop. It never stops. I've been doing this for 10 plus years, okay? I started as a web designer, developer, to a software engineer. I was a QA engineer at one point, then a software engineer, to a front-end developer, then full stack, right? And these are all on personal preferences. This is what I wanted to do. This is how I started. What I learned before, during my journey, like in the start, I'm not necessarily using now, like PHP. I used to use PHP all the time because it was a need for building with CMSs like WordPress, Joomla. This was important. And then also like a lot of backend architecture when dealing with databases and all that stuff, PHP really came in handy. Now that I don't do that anymore, I just focus on React.js and MySQL, and that's it. That's it. There's Python in there as well, but like I'm not like an expert at it. So I leave the experts to do their work, and you know, if I have any questions, I'll reach out. But when it comes to the languages that you will be learning, it not necessarily means that you're gonna stick with that one language throughout your career. You're gonna learn different ones, and it's gonna open more opportunities for you in the future. So always have that mindset to always learn and not think that you know everything. The third thing is that you stay motivated. Like, I can't tell you how many times that I worked on different projects and then I was like, what's next, right? Because you get a dopamine hit that, all right, I finished this project and people are using it and they're happy with it, right? Now I want to work on something else that will build value. And the more you continue to build value and add value, you're gonna want to do more. You want to go beyond that goal. And it's gonna happen. As you start out as a developer, and then as you continue to go on your journey, you're gonna notice that every single project that you worked on, you're gonna up it a little bit, right? You're gonna be doing more complex problems. Always constantly looking for the latest and greatest things and trying it out. I don't know if it's gonna be something that I'm necessarily gonna be happy working with, but it's still a start. It's a start to something that could potentially add value. So definitely as a developer, you'll stay motivated for sure. No matter what project you're working on, it's always going to be there. The next thing is salary. Now, I didn't realize how much a developer gets paid, but the salary is up there. Depending on what company you're working for, it doesn't matter if it's a startup or like any of these bigger tech companies, you will be making money. With the money, it comes with the workload. You're going to be working a lot. If you need to mitigate working too much, right? Working way too much where you're burnt out, you have to figure out setting up your schedule for the week. If you are willing to work 4 to 5 hours max, you should set that time schedule. You should not be working more than that. And if you are getting paid a lot of money and the workload is very, very high, you have to adapt and build out a schedule that will fit all your meetings, the things that you need to do, and all the extra stuff that you need to do outside of work, right? And having a schedule will keep you accountable for things that needs to get done for that day, so that you're not missing appointments, you're not missing deadlines. You have your set schedule, and that's what you're gonna stick to. That's your Bible. The last thing is, like I talked about this throughout the video, is more opportunities. You're gonna have a lot more opportunities when you become a developer. As you continue to learn different languages, you're gonna notice that, okay, I could jump in, instead of like working on a website, right, as a web developer, I now have like back-end, experience with dealing with databases, right? Then you wanna transition into that space. You could easily just apply to become a database admin. You could get a course on like how to manage databases and you should be off to the races. The more you set up applications that use databases in mind and have that in your portfolio, the easier it will be to convince these companies that you are the expert in this. You understand databases so much that they need you. That's gonna help you get more opportunities. And companies will be going to you. Recruiters going to be reaching out to you. Like, they'll see that all the products that you built, all the time that you spent to do it, to do the research, you have everything laid out nice and neat. They're going to reach out to you and it's like, hey, we have a company that needs a database admin. You could do whatever you want. You could build whatever you want. You're not tied down to just one particular skill set. You could grow your skill set if need be, depending on the demand in the market. Based off that, smooth sailing. You could do whatever you want, like I said. So that's it, guys. That's the video. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Write in the comments, man, if this video was helpful. If you have any questions, you could just reach out in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon.